Serral. First map, Golden Wall, by the way. I'm excited. Are we gonna see that weird 8 Rex with the gold? I have the feeling we might, Wardi.
We very well might, as in the bottom right-hand side, we're kicking this off with the blue Zerg player showing up in an online tournament. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's always fun to watch. And here he is in the grand finals from ENCE. It is Serral.
Wouldn't life be great if you can just like decide to skip a couple of online tournaments, but then when you do play, you're like, yeah, grand finals.
Grand finals, maybe get some 250 euros. It's been an alright night.
Yeah, must be a good life being Jonothan. And in the left bottom side, we have a man who's been working very hard and making his life a whole lot better too. Now that he's incredibly good already. Can he push Serral to the limit? It is Clem. Of course, representing Team Liquid.
I feel like we could see a really cool match here. But I really feel like this.
When is the last time you've seen these two play? I can't really remember it. I'm gonna look it up for you. You can do a little chitty chat, Wardi. I'll look it up.
I can do a little chitty chat. Yeah. I'm just watching the Twitch chitty chat go !KOC to try and win a monitor. Turns out if you ask 5,000 nerds to type something in chat to potentially win a monitor, a lot of them do it. Who knew?
You know what I just love as well? I typed in Serral on Eligaleg, and apparently there is a registered competitive player from Sweden called Serral's Dad. That's his go-to nickname.
No.
Yes. I mean, I don't know if Serral's Dad has posted a lot of good results on Eligaleg, but it's kind of fun.
I actually have a fun Eligaleg story for you a little bit later on, but not during the game. It's a good one, though.
All right. So historically, between these two, it is 6-0 in favor of Serral. Does Serral ever lose, mate? Like last series, he's like 12-0 against Lambo. Now he's 6-0 historically against Clem. And in maps, it's 10-1. But we have to mention that the last time they played was obviously in 2019. It's been a while. Clem is way better now. Clem will get rid of that 0 eventually. I don't know when it's gonna happen. Maybe it's today, boy.
Maybe it is today. Honestly, I really feel like Clem should have his stats wiped and just be like 2020 Clem. Should be like a new search function, because he has been so good since the start of this year, very end of last year. And I really believe, I don't think this is going to be a 3-0 no matter what. For me, Clem puts up a great fight here, and maybe he doesn't win it out. I do think he can. I think he puts up a good fight, and I think he takes a map, or maybe even 2.
Well, historically, he's only taken 1. And I do obviously agree with you that he's way better now than he's ever been. But I still think that's something you can't ignore. It's 10-1 in maps historically. So if Clem would take 2 maps here, then he would have already taken more maps of Serral in competitive StarCraft than he's ever done before in his life.
Yeah, I mean, true.
That's something to think about, isn't it?
It's kind of crazy, yeah. When you phrase it like that, it doesn't seem so hopeful anymore.
No, like, maybe we're not going to get a close series. Oh, it's like, Roddy, wrap it up. It's 3-0. We're done now. That is, what about this layer over here?
So do you think he's going to go...
Nice? Oh, no, it's the Muda, right? He likes the Muda sometimes, the 2-base Muda.
Yeah, I think this is it's a bit of a weird map. There's a really nice Nidus spot on this map where you can like hit it in like the corner of the main, but I'm pretty sure this is just going to be Mutalisks. And because Mutas can work very well on this map too, because you have like the entire bottom half of the map you can just fly away to if they get into trouble, right?
Plus you don't even have to look at them.
Yeah, exactly. So you can just kind of like fly them away. It gets rid of any sort of drop pressure on a map that's very kind of like, you know, Terrans like to use the minerals on your side and like set up tanks there and drop over and stuff. It just shuts down all of that nonsense and it gets you in control of the game early. So I imagine that's what Serral is looking for. As his lair finishes, he has the gas for the Spire right away. And there it is.
He played this map a couple of times during the stay-at-home Story Cup as well. And there he went for much, much later Mutas. Like, he was basically just getting a whole bunch of Link Bane. And then while the Terrans were like already pushing and getting ready for all their Marines attacks, that's actually when he added Mutas. And, you know, Reynor wasn't a fan at first. And Lambo, not sure if Lambo was a fan or not, but to me it also felt a little bit off. But obviously because it was Serral, you know, he still found some good value with Mutas. Was still able to pick off a couple of SCVs, pick off some reinforcements, and in the end he got it done. But yeah, this is much faster, of course.
Yeah, for sure. As the Spire drops down halfway along, and obviously the thing is for Clem, he just doesn't really know. Like, he saw the later third hatchery, So that's a sign, but he doesn't know if that's mutas. He doesn't really know necessarily if that's a nidus. For now, the best he can do is sort of just sit back and chill. It looks like he thinks it's mutas, though, right? Because he's building widow mines.
Yeah.
It looks like he's got a good idea.
Then again, why is he building a Reaper right now?
Well, I mean, that's just a question we'll be asking ourselves for days. I mean, that's...
It must be so awkward as well if you spawn as a Reaper like 5.5 minutes into a game. It's like, hey,
yeah.
what am I supposed to do here? Clem is like gonna select his units. He's like, what? Another Reaper? Like, I didn't order this at all.
Yeah, he's like, you just go across the map. I actually don't know what he... I mean, it's just a misclick, right? But
yeah.
It's kind of a crazy one. Hey, he didn't start +1 armor yet, Clem. That's kind of a big deal.
Because he built a Reaper.
But yeah, it's one of those things that against the faster Mutalisk, you should be way ahead on upgrades. So missing the armor upgrade, while the attack upgrade's more important in TVZ, it's still nice to have that armor upgrade as well, obviously. So he is going to be missing out on that a little bit. And it's just giving Serral an advantage that he shouldn't really have. Or it's taking away one of the advantages that Clem should have.
No.
Oh my god, fresh mules go down. 2 of them.
Yeah. I know that random Reaper is still just sitting there. Oh, we don't mind, so there's no overseer here. Serral needs to be paying attention.
Oh, he knows it, man. Oh, no.
Oh my god.
No! You're kidding me.
About all of them. Is there one eventually that he's gonna fly in?
I don't know, man. He dies for the... he dies for the Viking. He loses 1 muta, and it felt like he might have lost 2, but... Nope, not quite.
Nope.
Damn.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Talk about walking a thin line. Hey, Reaper number 2 and Hellions are going to the other side of the map now. Looking for a little bit of damage. Evo block, or Evo block rather, not an eBay.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple
5 drones, 6 drones. Well, it's something, right?
Yeah.
Ends up
It's probably more than you were normally going to get out of those Hellions and the Reapers in this phase in the game, so... I think it's something that Clem can work with. His economy definitely hasn't been bad. Losing those mules, I think that really stung. But that's about it. Other than that, it has not been bad at all.
Yeah, for sure. As we see these Marines going through the center of the map, so pushing across to that far right-hand side. And the attack continuing over. We see some Banes actually from Serral going to turn and run in towards. There's a couple of Widow Mines getting picked away at Mutalisks. Continuing forwards, a couple extra Banes going down. I mean, okay, Clem's kind of fighting and holding his own there. And that +1 armor is just sort of sync. That throws you for the rest of the game as well, right? Because then your 2 never lines up properly with each other. You forget the +2 armor, and it's just so frustrating as a Terran.
He's getting a second factory as well, so he's playing this very differently than we've seen a lot of other Terrans play it on this map, right? Where they just go for the Ajax and they pump out nothing but Marines. It's still just a lot of Widow Mines. Serral should really bring an Overseer so he can actually snipe those Widow Mines, because they have been very annoying for him. Clem is pushing in the middle of the map though, Wardi, and he's putting... Oh no, he on-burrowed.
Yeah, I kind of agree. It was looking good, and then just a couple Banes get in towards those Marines, and it's just a couple too many. And now these Marines are already like hurting a lot as they stim again. Banes finish. And well, the Widow Mines do okay here actually, but obviously they all get cleaned up eventually as Clem pulls back.
You just lose your momentum there, right? Every single time you have to pick up those 12 Marines, and even if the trades look promising, because it's like, oh, he's getting like 4 Banelings with a Widow Mine. Like, that's nice and all, but Clem needs to get some more momentum going. I mean, he is actually adding Thors, and Drilling Claws is halfway done as well, so it's not like Clem needs to win right here, right now. I mean, Serral doesn't have Hive on the way or something, but I don't know. It feels like he's not putting as much pressure on Serral as he's supposed to.
Yeah, we're going to see this Widow Mine gets picked off as well. I mean, Serral's just going to run forwards. He's getting every Widow Mine before they fire.
Banelings into the SCVs!
Yeah.
Good SimCity. At least the SCVs were not stuck, so that's nice.
It's going to blow up Drilling Claws, though.
Yeah, that's sad.
Isn't it just crazy when Serral's units feel like they're not going to do anything, and they actually find something you never see them... you never see Banelings get?
Yeah, there's just a Drilling Claw deny. Why not? Like it's a normal thing.
I just don't know the last time. I don't think I've ever seen Banelings blow up Drilling Claws, but there you go. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, but I feel like these last couple of trades have been okay for Clem, right? I mean, I know he just lost Drilling Claws, but he didn't lose any SCVs, really. So, you know, he's cleaned out a good amount of the units.
Oh, they're Widow Mines. Actually, he's going to see those. Like, obviously, I know he does. I like the mines that are tucked between the barracks, but it almost felt that... Don't you think that Clem can dive on turrets with 16 mutas?
Yeah. I mean, you can, but if there's a couple, then you can get the repairs, right?
And I feel like with 60 meters, you bounce so much and you kill the SCVs really quickly too.
Yeah, that's true. But then, I mean, I guess the kind of design is just like a way to buy time for the Marines to show up. Clem's going to start pushing into the center, and honestly, his army supply ain't bad. Maybe he should be 2-2 against 1-1 right now. Instead, he's just 2-1. Problem is the creep spread so far forwards on Golden Wall that, I mean, this is just the issue with Golden Wall. Where do you go if the creep's out here? Well, you don't really have a good push onto any base at all if you've left it this late in the game.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, Serral's already taking his kind of pocket expand as well, or at least in the bottom side of Golden Wall, so that feels really safe, because Clem hasn't even been there in the entirety of this game.
Yeah.
Clem is going to get a few more turrets. Banelings are getting really close to Marines in the middle of the map. Obviously, off-creep, Serral doesn't need to fight. I think Serral's going to dive some turrets now, and this is what we're talking about. First turret goes down, second turret goes down, and that's what I was very afraid of. And I feel like at this point, this is going to keep on happening. It just feels like Clem is not even getting close to like really hurting Serral.
Yeah, for sure. It's pretty rough as you see these Lings and Banes around the top left.
Yeah, there's a lot of Widow Mines here, by the way.
Yeah, just gonna send one Ling forward initially, send another. Some Lings and Banes gonna turn over the right-hand side and go try and fight this. Marauder gets picked off too.
That was so fun. I like how he did that with the whole position, because then it's very easy to select the right Zergling that is being targeted by the Widow Mine. Serral running into 2 mines 2 times, hold position, and only loses a single Ling. Or well, 2 Zerglings against 2 Widow Mines. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. As the Mutas go into the main base, they're going to be making their way through straight in on the missile turret, and maybe for the rest of them as well. There's a Widow Mine in there, so some splash damage, but there's just no follow-up to it.
I feel like Clem almost had enough of this, because he's scanning and he's finally getting pretty deep into enemy territory. He's obviously on creep. I don't think Serral really expected Clem to make this move, but these Baneling connections are really good. And this wasn't even the real fight, and it's already so good, Serral.
Yeah, Serral has so much more behind this ready to go. He's also got a counterattack on the top left side, which he might use soon. And the Middleists are turning back around, so they're going to be part of this army if necessary as well. And I mean, Clem just goes running away, tail between his legs. He's like, yeah, I kind of got pretty far forwards, but I still just can't do anything, right? Like, I just can't actually achieve anything when I get into these positions.
It feels like Clem is hoping for Serral to make a slip up and run into some of those Widow Mine traps that he's been setting up. He's got quite a few traps at this point. You know, there are Widow Mines kind of tucked away everywhere, near planetaries as well. So he's hoping that Serral's overextending. That was a decent shot, but he actually needs more here. He's not going to be able to defend this yet. That is a good Widow Mine hit as well on a lot of those Mutas. And those will add up.
Mutas back up the top side. Lings, Banes continuing through the center. I mean, this is getting dangerous for Clem, of course. He's going up to 5 bases, which means there's more locations for Serral to just run to and strike at. And Serral makes his way towards his own 3-3. Means he's already on Hive and Adrenal Glands is done. And as he runs into this, a lot of Widow Mines picked off before they do anything. But the Mutas are stacked up. A couple more Thor shots, but they get away in time. And now it's just the Thors on their own, so they're going to have to lift back up into those medevacs. And Banes are going to go crashing through in towards the gold-based minerals. And there's not many SCVs there, but even just shutting down the depots here at Serral really all will just add up.
Yeah, I mean, all of the buy units were just on the left top side of the map. So the moment those couple of Marines that were actually there fell, there was nothing else. It was just those 2 Thors. And yeah, you're spot on. The Mutas are low on HP over and over and over again, but they're not really falling, right? I mean, throughout the game, Serral did lose 19. He's been very, very active with them. And where he's supposed to be under pressure, like trying to get a Hive tech out, feels like he hasn't really been under any pressure at all. Clem is actually sending units to the bottom side of Golden Wall for the first time, while Serral is going to try to blow up this planetary and will succeed in doing so. And Clem gets something done, though, on the right bottom side.
Yeah, he's going to stim in bottom right, and he's going to get this hatchery, probably. The thing is, it feels like Serral has so many bases, so a base for a base feels like it's in Serral's favor. What more does Clem do here? Well, Ling's already streaming into the main base. Serral rebuilds that hatchery in the face of Clem's drop, which is a bit crazy. Medevacs continuing down the bottom right, and, well, actually going to get a little bit stuck here. Spore and a Queen together, not quite enough. Those medevacs
are coming in from the north side. Yeah. I mean, Clem is going to have to unload and just trade out. At the same time, Clem is using all of this time that he's buying by getting a little bit of progress in the middle of the map. Serral's going to try to prevent that. That's a lot of Banelings, and +3 is almost done. Don't see any Widow Mines here.
No, there's no splash at all, really. It's just the Thors to maybe try and tank a little bit of it. Gets the pull off creep. The Widow Mines are stacked up here. 3 of them go down. Oh, again, one escapes away. Didn't get a chance to burrow. And Serral comes in, pushes that back. I mean, Clem's still putting some good pressure on. What did I just miss?
2 Widow Mines at the gold base, because Serral was going for the Zergling run by from the bottom side. I don't know how many it was, but yeah, roughly 20 lings or so going down.
I mean, action just everywhere. I gotta say, look at these supplies, Roddy. It is pretty close.
Yeah, but now we're gonna get ultras and kindness plating and most likely still creep. But you're right. For all the times we have praised Serral and we were kind of sad that Clem forgot his upgrade, Clem is absolutely hanging in there. I mean, the gold is obviously gonna run out, so he's basically a 2-base Terran at this point. Economically, it feels a lot healthier for Serral. But hey, if Clem gets a big victory now, this can suddenly be Clem's game. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of Lings and Banes coming around this bottom side, and Bio continue to press forwards here from Clem. More Ultras along the bottom as well as a couple of Widow Mines continuing to go off. Ultras all over the place picking up these Widow Mines, and we're going to be seeing Clem continuing back over this right side. Mutalisks, Banelings, they're going to go and hit that top left-hand side as well. Look to break down that mineral line.
I think that's massive, actually, if Serral denies his base, because then Clem's economy is truly in shambles, but it's going to be a little bit hard. Banelings are just going to settle for the turrets, and the Mutas are going to clean this up. All 7 SUVs go down in the end. How's that fight in the middle now? The Ultras are pushing Clem back. Yeah. Clem cannot afford to lose this base, he really cannot, because his work account is already dwindling. And don't forget that his initial 3 bases, they're pretty much gone, right? Like even that gold, that gold is pretty much gone as well. So those 2 bases on the left top side, they are super important.
We've got another CC to move out. Serral is down to only 7 Mutalisks, by the way. So if there's anything that Clem can look towards for positivity, it's that maybe there's going to be less harassment from the skies. And maybe that helps him out a little bit, keeps some medevacs alive at points. But even this low Mutalisk count, finding a Widow Mine left behind, finding a Liberator, and just getting some bits and pieces. Lose the Overseer, those can't actually do much more now.
So is it Serral who's selecting this Ultralisk skin, or is it are those our settings?
No, that's Serral.
Is he trolling us?
So the funny thing, the funny thing is as well, because it's on game hard, he won't see it, and we still do. But I guess he must use it in ladder games as well. I don't imagine he just turned it on for the tournament.
Hey, by the way, I just realized that there is a visual thing for the Ultralisk speed upgrade as well, right?
Yeah,
you kind of see like the wind gushing around their.
They're very speedy.
That looks cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's actually very noticeable in these Ultras because there's not much to them.
Yeah, I've actually never seen that graphic before.
Yeah, on normal Ultras you can see like the back tail end of it, and that's about it. So.
Serral is counter-attacking again, and this gold, there wasn't much left. Now there truly is nothing left. At this point, Serral's gonna get burrow as well, and he's got a lot of Banelings here, so he could start burrowing Banelings everywhere and could give us a real show. I mean, Clem is still just fighting his heart out and trying to make the best out of all of this. But it does feel that Serral is just in a much better economic spot. And even army-wise at this point, I like his army a bit better than I like Clem's army as well.
Because he's put so much pressure on Clem, and Clem's been struggling to keep enough economy alive, Clem's just never been able to get to like the anti-ultra army, right? Like he's never really gotten many liberators up. It's just consistently been biomine. He's never been able to make the next step, while Serral obviously did. He upgraded from Lingbane unit to the Ultras as well. And the thing is, he doesn't need to move off of Ultras because, like I said, there's just nothing else really coming into play here from Clem. It's just the same old biomine.
Is Serral getting over eager here though? I mean, I know that's a lot of speedy Ultras, that's a lot of Banelings as well, but if he doesn't get the planetary, when he does get the planetary, this felt really expensive, but still totally worth it.
There's a lot of like low health Ultras. If the 3 of those low health ones go down and he kites for another one as well, I mean, it is expensive, you're not wrong. It's just so expensive for Clem. Yeah,
then I look at the bank and I'm like, okay, even if that maybe wasn't the most pretty fight I've ever seen, it's totally okay, because Serral is still on all these bases. He's still got the insane 87 drone economy. You can even make an argument for saying like, no, that's exactly what you want to do when you're sitting on 87 drones. So even though, yeah, that was expensive, he can afford it, and Clem cannot. So I guess it was a victory.
Yeah, I think so. I think he knows that as well, right? He knows that if he gets this base especially, it's just like, where is Clem even mining from at this point? Widow Mine's gonna do, I mean, a good start of this. If Clem maybe had more, it'd be scary. I mean, it still is equal army supplies. Of course, it just means that Serral has more economy, and he's going to be able to then run more and more army into Clem over time. As he's elsewhere once more. Top left base is currently in orbital, so Zerglings alone are picking away SCVs.
Yeah, and his army is getting a little oversteamed right in the middle of the map. It just doesn't feel fair anymore. Clem is really making the best of it, but for every Zergling he kills, it feels like 12 more are gonna pop up. There is one liberated there that's gonna get a couple of shots up, but it's just not going to be enough. After 20 minutes, Serral will take the 1-0 lead here in the grand final. That was a pretty fun game, I think, to kick this grand final off with.
Yeah, I like it. It was, it gives us some hope, I think, for the series, right? Like, even if Serral's going to come through and win this 3-0 to screw up my prediction, Clem's going to put up a fight. You know, it wasn't just Serral shows up, first army of the game, sweeps a push from Clem, and then, you know, moves across the map and kills him, you know? Very back and forth.
It felt like a little bit of a tug of war, back and forth. The only thing that I was kind of missing is that normally I feel like Terran is supposed to be kind of intimidating, right? And scary in the middle of the map, and really make, maybe not like steady progress all around, but you kind of have like, all right, till here and no further. Eventually they get close to bases. I felt that Clem, not once in this game, really had an incredibly scary setup for Serral to deal with. It always felt like the action took, you know, it took place quite far away from the buildings or bases that really mattered for Serral.
Yeah, I think that's just Golden Wall in general, right? It's kind of, I'm kind of trying to wrap my head around this, and I think it's good for Terran. You can get lots of bases, but it's just so big that when do you ever really push into the Zerg? It feels very tough, and yet the Terrans haven't been too afraid to play it yet. Maybe because they just like that gold base so much, and they feel like that momentum the gold base gives them just that boost they need. Anyways, we're going into Nightshade now, so we know that this is Clem's map pick. As we get this set up, game number 2 in a couple of moments. Get this up and ready to go. Don't forget, guys, you can enter to win an AOC monitor. Reynor won last week's show match against Hero Marines, so you can type !AOC in the chat to enter that. I just entered myself, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah,
can I enter?
Yeah, get in here, Roddy.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, I'm feeling lucky.
I don't have an AOC monitor, so...
Yeah, we get in here. Reynor can read it for us as well.
No, I would feel terrible. Imagine if I do win it. That's actually horrible. I'll just save up for one instead. like it would be really funny, but also terrible. Because then we were like, Rick, so no. I will not participate.
It's okay. I'll win it for you.
Okay, and then we'll raffle it away together on the Wardi and Roddy stream.
Yeah.
When we're allowed to travel again, I come to Newcastle, we'll do a dual stream, we'll raffle away the monitor that you won in the raffle.
And me.
Sounds like a plan, mate. All right, game 2, Nightshade, let's go.
Top left-hand side, the Blue Zerg up 1-0 from NC Sports. It is Serral.
Of course, in the right bottom side of Nightshade, map where he's been putting on a couple of spectacular shows. Representing Team Liquid, it is Clem. The winner of the very first edition of the Xel'Naga Finest. And last week, who did Clem fall short to? It was somebody really good, right?
Clem fell to a laser.
Maybe. Was it a laser?
It was a laser in the semifinals. Oh, in the round of 8, maybe. And then a laser moved through.
You know what would be kind of cool? I was thinking about this, but I didn't say it yet once. Like, when the initial WCS format got announced, right? The one that we used a while ago with the 4 circuit events. Then we had like 4 stops, you know. And I know that back then in Blizzard's mind, this was going to be beautiful because you're going to get like 4 different winners and everybody gets like one of these trophies, you know. And it was this really cool storyline. And then in like 2017, Neep was just like, nah, I really don't like this storyline very much. And he wins 3 out of 4, you know. And Blizzard is like, well, you know, that's awesome for Neep, but it also kind of sucks because we wanted to have different winners because all the graphics were designed for different winners as well. And then the year after that, Serral's like, man, Neep didn't even complete the Grand Slam. I'll do it myself. And that was really unfortunate. But here right now in the Xel'Naga Finest, obviously, you know, it's not the same skill. But I think it's very cool that we have 3 editions. And there is a good chance that we get 3 different winners now. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's been every time we get to these finals, they've been great as well. Like we've had, I don't think we haven't had like a disappointing finals yet. There's been some really good games. I mean, I know this is just 1-0 here right now, but that first game was exciting. There was a lot going on.
Yep. I do kind of feel that if Clem is going to take at least a map here, or maybe make this a very competitive best of 5, I think it's safe to say that Nightshade is a must-win map here.
Yes, absolutely. I think if Clem loses this, not only are you down 0-2, but you're probably going back onto Serral's map pick, and this is your favorite map pick, and it's just in your head. It's kind of defeatist as well, as that is not good. Reaper goes down. At least got the creep tumor kill.
Oh, immediately Roach one.
Yeah.
Sarah was like, all right, how are you going to scout without a Reaper?
Yeah. It's a really good move. I mean, it's why you can't lose the Reaper, because now Clem has no way of seeing this.
You know, it's really funny. I had a lot of game earlier today, and the Zerg took his gas like a little bit quicker, like literally 2 seconds, and they most of the time do it. But I was like, it doesn't mean anything. But then I lost my probe in the main base because I got surrounded by drones, and I was like a real donkey move. And I'm like, barcode Zerg, killed my probes. I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna roach Lingo at me. So I built like 2 cannons and a battery and a void ray in the dark, right? And it never happened. And I was like, oh man, I feel so stupid now. And I was like, I still think I'm doing really good in this game. So the game goes on. And then I watched the replay, and he did make 7 roaches in 12 links. And I was like, yes! He just didn't commit because he saw with his overlord that I was ready for it. Yeah, Clem is kind of doing the same thing here. Obviously, Clem doesn't really know it yet. He's probably slightly worried, but he's like, nah, Serral's not gonna build a bunch of roaches and run to the other side of the map just because he killed my Reaper, right? Well, yeah. Clem, you are wrong, man.
Yeah, you are very wrong, because there are roaches and there are ravages, and they're heading to the bottom right as we speak. Now, he is going for a Banshee, and he sees the roaches now, so he has a bit of a pre-warning about this. Toss the bunker, but man, these first roaches are so far across.
Yeah, and that Banshee, it feels like it's gonna take forever as well. This bunker is never gonna finish up. Like, I don't think that Clem loses the game here, but he's gonna take so much economic damage that I think he's pretty much down and out. Unless it's 2 Hellions on the other side of the map, like magically kill a whole bunch of drones, but that is not happening. No. How do you fight this, man? He's gonna lose so many SCVs. He's gonna lose Cloak as well.
Yeah, and it means you can't build a second Banshee, right? So you're stuck on just 1 Banshee. So then you don't even have like a lot of harassment potential, because you know it's 2 Banshees out of the magic ones, right? But then you need one-shot workers. Yeah, he's going to lose so many SCVs. He comes in for the surround. I mean, there is a Marauder in the back that's actually helping quite a lot against a couple of roaches on the right side. Yeah. I'm kind of surprised it's only 10 workers so far. I'm not going to lie, Roddy.
I was going to say the exact same, but then I look at the worker count, and he's like 24 workers behind. But yeah, obviously, I think it's very easy to say that what Serral should have done is leave like 2 roaches in the natural, no? Like, put a roach between the gas and the minerals there, and that roach will never, ever go down against just SVs. And then, obviously, you can't mine from that entire right side. It feels like Serral should have done a little bit more than what he did, but it was still really good.
It was really, really good. As this Banshee from Clem coming up to the top side is going to move around. A few Hellions out over to the upper left-hand side as well. A couple of Evo Chambers in the wall after these Zerglings coming through. The Queen's just going to get on the ramp, so this is going to do nothing at all. That's a real shame, right? Because now you've got no real danger on the map, so Serral starts up 10 more drones.
Yeah, you can't even blame him. I actually felt there was some potential there. I was like, you know, the Queen cannot block this off. This was even too big for that 1 Queen. I was like, maybe 5 Hellions, but then it's just like an ideal catch on 2 Hellions on the right side and 2 on the left. I mean, Clem is actually still getting a little bit of damage done with these Hellions. But
last couple, getting some extra kills. Oh my god, the drone regenerated. I think this is the worst feeling ever when you hit the drone that's low HP and then it survives on 1.
Yep. Banshee in the main base. How many kills did it get? 6 actually in total, but it's about to go down against all these
and of course, Queens. A lot of those kills are across the map back at home, right? When he was defending, so...
good point.
So it is just a 15 worker lead for Serral, which usually you wouldn't think is too crazy. You know, Clem gets his 3rd base up and running now. Serral's just going to go for a big 1-1 Roach bust. So he's going to hit 1-1. He's just going to go across the map with Roach speed. Gonna try and win this game. It's actually a pretty nice map to do this on, because you can come from like 2 sides if you need to go up the ramps. If Clem doesn't have bunkers up and if he doesn't pull SCVs, he's gonna die. It's gonna be tough.
I gotta say though, if you would join the game right now, would you say like this is unwinnable? Not at all, right?
No, I don't think you say it's unwinnable. I just think it's very hard to realize that Serral's going for a 1-1 Roach attack. Yeah, I think if you join the game and you look at the numbers, I actually think it looks pretty good, but I do think because Clem's been so slow in the early game, he shouldn't have the numbers of tech units that he needs, right? Like, he might have a lot of IO and he might have a worker count, but does he have the tank count to shut down a 1-1 Roach attack?
No, he's gonna be on 5 Rexes soon, and these metavacs might be able to be a bit annoying.
Yeah,
I feel like there is potential. I honestly feel there is a lot of potential here for Clem. I know that the tank count is not high. He only has 2 tanks, but maybe he can get something magical done with all these little medevacts here. There's not that much anti-air, obviously. Just a couple of queens. Marines are going to try to be annoying. I mean, every second that goes by is kind of a good one for Clem, right?
Yeah. I mean, for sure, right? Because every second that goes by, you get
close. What are the queens
close.
doing there? Hello?
Well,
No.
he's gonna no. He's starting to intercept these medevacs. Okay, here we go, Roddy. Roaches and Ravager's gonna be running up. Now a lot of the Roaches actually stuck in the back hitting barracks. So that ain't so pretty. And now these Marines did drop off on the left side, so it actually looks a bit better for Clem than it maybe should have done. I think it looks really good now. Yeah.
With those tanks not going down yet, obviously these barracks might take a beating and stuff, but the bio units are climbing. The tanks are getting some really juicy shots off. Yeah. We all know that roaches are not the greatest the longer the game goes. I actually think Clem is in a good spot at this point.
Yes, I was going to start up 2-2, so he also agrees with you. He says, yep, not going to break this here. He's going to go around the side and get some free supply depots or so. I really feel like the way Serral engaged was obviously not so great, right? Like everything was like in the line the wrong way around to kind of push up that ramp. But then on top of that as well, oh, Clem's just running into this. He's just going to try and pick off whatever he can just to quickly finish my points. He also, like half of his army just stopped to fight the barracks.
Yeah,
and that obviously was kind of an effect of the way he engaged. So, yeah.
I think what he was hoping for was 1 tank. And then suddenly there were 3 tanks there already. And he's like, whoa. Because he dropped a couple of transfusions as well on those roaches in the front. He's, yeah, I'm going to run forward. But now I actually love it. Because now Serral is working with basically, you know, an economic deficit, right? With the triple mules, like, I feel like Clem should be able to mine a little bit more. He has not really an upgrade advantage either. And now he has to work with a kind of a clumsy army, and he's gonna have to defend against all the crazy drops of Clem. Sure, his army is massive, and oh my god, all the roaches gonna swing in from the top side. They get a tank as well.
That's
but
a
it
tank
feels like Serral really needs to make some magical plays to win this game.
Yeah, and his Ravagers are kind of in the weird position there where the Marines are able to get on top of them right away. So he loses a couple of Ravagers. Dropping the left side, being pushed back by the Roaches. Good defense from Serral. Obviously, dropping is really powerful against just a Roach Ravager army. I mean, Serral's going to be maxed out 2-2, and he's basically still all in, despite that, because of the fact it is just Roach Ravager. Comes forwards, picks off a few units already. I feel like Clem's taking some scrappy fights he doesn't need to when he can actually just sit back and wait for the larger one.
Serral is actually going for the laser strategy here. He's on 200 supply, but he's queuing up a couple more overlords.
Yeah, it's just in case.
I mean, I think as long as Clem is around like 150-ish supply, obviously Serral's got a very good shot in this game. And I think Serral's done a good job in shaving up units over and over again, but I feel like we're getting close to that point where Serral's just gonna kill almost nothing, and Clem is gonna kill everything. The tank does go down though. The other tanks were not really participating in this fight. Serral, you're not supposed to just run up a ramp and kill all these tanks, but Wardi, he's kind of trying to do exactly just that.
He is, and he's kind of done it. There's no siege tanks remaining. Now you're going to start losing your barracks on the low ground. These Marines aren't with the reinforcements, so they are going down as well.
Come on.
Serral is kind of making this happen, man. It's...
I mean, tank is going to siege up. A lot of SVs go down, but there's still some DPS in this bio army. I don't know. I don't think Clem is totally out yet.
No, the
last
couple of moments definitely helped out a lot, right? As we also have the drop across the map, just trying to put on a bit more pressure. Yeah, I think Serral's losing a lot of units right now, and that he needs to kind of get back and kind of rebuild a little bit, because I don't think he has the numbers to really keep going here. He turns around once again, though. Really trying to push Clem back. He's obviously not mined from the third base for a little while. He has got a 4th CC that he's pulling back towards the right side.
If Clem gets that base up and running and it's a planetary. Oh, wait, what? Don't do what?
No.
Did you see that?
Yeah, don't kill your own tank. Serral did a good enough job of that already.
Yeah, it's like, and he really needs that tank so badly right now if he wants to survive. It's like that tank is everything.
Yeah, it's like the most important thing. These tanks, though, now are going to get Corrosive Bile. That's down in the middle with the Corrosive Biles. They both go down very quickly. Medevac's getting hit. New tank in the background, but I think Serral's just killed the bio army. And that's GG from Clem as Serral will take a game 2. Never believe Serral's in trouble, Roddy, because he usually just isn't deep.
I know. I mean, we said this. We shouldn't think that he's in trouble, but at one point, you're just like,
yeah.
It really felt that all these little silly Roach Ravager fights against the bio that they were always good for Serral, because if Clem would ever get like 180, 190 supply,
Yeah,
I don't think he just wins the fight, but he completely destroys the army. But Serral just kept it like 150, 150, 150, and yeah, Clem was dropping, and there's obviously a lot of drop potential against somebody who's only working with roaches and ravages. You can also say, just max out, just keep everything at home, because your army is literally going to be way better than the roach ravager army, right? I felt that Clem was this close to like actually winning, but then he didn't.
Yeah. And then he did not. It's honestly like I actually feel like if I'm casting any other Zerg player in this position, I'm completely like, man, Clem's in a great spot. But because it's Serral, I'm like, surely there's some way. Surely there's some plan. Surely there's something coming.
I mean, I look at the worker graph, and it's like from 9.5 minutes till the final battle that basically happened, they were even in workers.
Yeah.
And if a Zerg is even in workers with a Terran, and is building nothing but Roach Ravager, that's just not good for Zerg. Like, that's supposed to be like, oh yeah, eventually they run out of steam and they lose. But Serral did a really good job in picking off a couple of tanks, and I gotta say, he did a fantastic job in sniping Marauders as well. Like, every single time there was like a Marauder in the little mix, it felt like that was his first target over and over again. And I feel for Clem. Like, I really feel like, obviously, I feel like he should have been almost dead in the beginning of the game, but Serral just did not kill as many SCVs as I thought he would. And then suddenly felt like, Clem, maybe this is happening, but then it wasn't.
And then it wasn't. I feel like a lot of players say that when they're playing against Serral, as he is our blue Zerg on the top right-hand side. Up 2-0, one map away from one map away from being the champion, and then getting to play Reynor to take a monitor away from the Twitch chat.
And I don't think he dropped a single map yet, right? This tournament?
I don't think so.
Unless it was against Ghosty in the beginning. Or what was the Protoss name? I forgot. Anyway.
I know who you mean.
Yeah, the guy who casted the Dynamic against
Wolfshaw.
Alright, left bottom side of Everdream. Look at the main base of our French Terran player, of course, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem.
Yeah, so our third map, Everdream. I feel Everdream's like the real 50-50 map for TVZ. I feel like some players like it, some players don't. From both races as well, obviously. It's just like you can get 3-4 bases up easily, but there's also a lot of good pushing potential. There's also good counter-attack potential. There's really a bit of everything on this map.
Do you think that if Serral didn't kill the Reaper in the previous game, he would have gone for that opening?
No, I think it's completely a reaction to killing the Reaper, right?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't actually really take a look at the extractor, so I don't know how far along.
Maybe he was going for like a certain like roach pressure, but I think he doesn't build 7 to 10 roaches if he doesn't kill the Reaper. Maybe he builds like 3 or 4.
Yeah,
and
that's
like just
possible.
throw pressure, because he likes doing that on some of the Terran favored maps, like Nightshade, which you can run across easily. But I don't think he builds like a reaction. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, he put the roach run down the second the Reaper died as well, right?
It was too perfect. It was really crazy to see him not leave any roaches behind in the natural, or maybe he did, and
nah, he brought everything up the ramp.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, right? Because there were so many SCVs there, and there's no way that Clem can like really salvage those. So worst case scenario is that all those SCVs are being evacuated to the main base, which is only good because then you can hit bigger corrosive balls and obviously more lost mining time. Maybe Serral was a bit reckless. He's like, I think I'm just gonna win with.
I think there was there's also a Marauder that was in the back of the main base that he just didn't target fire. It was like half HP or less for like
I saw that.
15,
it was red
seconds.
HP actually, and it was just standing there getting like 12 shots off. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good damage.
If you kill that, he actually keeps like 3 roaches on the right side alive, and then they kill like probably like 8 more SCVs as well, which is also game changing, right? Like,
I mean, but this is kind of Serral games, right? Like, he always wins, so we're looking for the things that he could have done better to win even quicker. It's like kind of insane.
I mean, that's what we've got to analyze here. That's what he's left us with.
I know. It's like, it's really hard to praise Serral for just winning because we're so used to him just winning. That's a really quick layer once again.
Yeah, you reckon he goes Spire again, or do you reckon he notices or something this time?
I feel like on this map, I don't know. I gotta keep a look. What's the queen count? It's at 4. I think he's gonna knight us.
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling it a little bit as well. Drops the third hatchery now.
Maybe not.
And he's up against an armory, by the way, so Clem's going to change it up towards some Hellbats here.
No, I guess this is similar to what he did on Golden Wall, right?
Yeah, I think so. He takes 2 more gases now. It's definitely Mutalisks, because you don't need that much gas. And he drops the Bane Nest as well, so it's just going to be the Spire. But a Spire against what is a fast Hellbat attack. The thing is, you go for the lair so quickly, you're actually missing out on Queen. Because you're obviously building the lair, not the Queen. And you invest in a lot of gas that's not going to come through to this defense. So, possibilities for Clem to get some damage done, absolutely.
Yeah, because if you look at the army right now of Serral's got nothing. He's got 4 links. He's going to make 10 more links. I think you're onto something here, Wardi.
Yeah, he's completely blind, has no idea.
These Hellbats. Clem is obviously looking for a lot of damage here, not just for a Queen. He wants to get some decent economic damage as well, but this seems almost impossible to defend, even if your name is Serral.
Yeah, for sure. These few lings run in. A Queen already going down. The Marines doing a lot of damage in the background of this. I mean, you can already see the few Queens going down. Serral doesn't even stick around. And Clem will find his 2nd map ever against Serral in official matches.
Just like that. Flawless victory, Wardi. 4 minutes.
Who knew all you had to do was build some Hellbats, man? You should have added the armory every game.
Turns out that showing up with like 5 Hellbats, a medevac, and a couple of Marines is really good if they have 4 Zerg.
This is such a... It's definitely build order advantage to Clem as well, right? Because it's like I said, on that, building the lair, you're getting the Queens up. But on top of all of that, you're also going into this scenario where it's... Serral just chose like not to scout this game. Like he's just like, oh yeah, I believe you're gonna play normal. Like I didn't send my Overlord anywhere near your base.
Yeah,
so
no, it wasn't even like that he missed the armory. He's like, you can't really miss it if you're not even looking for it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So Serral drops a map in our finals. He will not go flawlessly to victory today.
Did anybody else win flawlessly? No, right? Like Clem dropped maps.
Clem dropped a map to Denver. Here, Marine dropped a map to Spaz.
Yeah, exactly. Spaz, my man.
Yeah.
Okay. So at least we still have that to look forward to in week 4 of the Xel'Naga Finest. Can anybody win it without dropping a map, Wardi?
I guess we'll find out next week, Roddy.
Maybe I'll do it in edition 6.
You'll do it number 6. I was gonna say. Yeah, I can feel it. I can get behind it.
Probably a first round exit, mate.
The French.
Unless I get that Goblin seed treatment, you know, like Roddy rank seed 8 into the tournament, like maybe that could help.
The French stream as Clem wins, right? Just played, you know, the coffin dancing meme.
Oh my god, yeah. I like that meme. I've seen it a lot, and at first I was so confused, but then you can't help it but to just laugh, and the music along with it, I'm just like, I don't even know why this is funny. And it's funny because lately, obviously, like, you know, my mom has nothing to do right now because he's also staying inside and not going anywhere. So I've been trying to share more and more internet stories to my mom, and she's getting some of them, some of the Twitch dramas and stuff. And I was like, this meme is really funny, but how do I explain that this is funny to my mother? I just can't.
I just had the French stream open from like watching the laser Clem in the semis. I just look over my other monitor and it's just full screen as the GG screen comes up. The Frenchies, man. Clem's down 0-2, wins 1 map. They're like, let's go.
Those guys are awesome. Gaming. Very passionate, of course. They've been around for many years. Eternal Empire. What? You didn't think this was going to be a short series now, did you?
Oh, that's why we get 45 minutes, because I thought we were about to wrap it up. I see how it is. Bottom left-hand side, our blue Zerg player is Serral.
And in the right top side, the man who just picked up some momentum with a quick and easy Hellbat win, representing Team Liquid, it is Clem.
Oh, the thing is, I feel like on Eternal Empire, you start playing Serral at Serral's best game, right? Which is long, macro, back and forth. It's, yeah, I don't know how you, I don't know how you approach this one as Clem.
I think you just gotta believe in yourself. I mean, if you can stand and fight Reynor and hold your ground and then eventually win those kind of slugfest of games, hey, maybe you can do it against Serral as well. And if not, this is the ultimate way to test yourself, right? Like, I feel like it would be a waste here to just throw it away and do something crazy that you've never done before. Like, no, Clem, you've been playing fantastic StarCraft against the very best out there. Now you're playing the best out there, especially when it comes to the foreign scene. You know, let's just see how well you do. Let's see if you can able to hold your own and maybe eventually pick him apart or build up a superior army, bait him into a couple of bad fights. I don't know, but I think if you play these long games against Laser and then even against Reynor, you got to do it against Serral.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if nothing else, you're gonna get a hell of a practice game out of it, right?
Exactly. I wonder if they ever play custom games. I can see it. Serral does prefer custom games in general over ladder.
Yeah.
He plays a little bit of ladder here and there. But...
Yeah, Serral's a big custom game player, right? He messages people. They play like once on every map. That's how he likes to do it, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think you're right. Been doing that for a while. And I think that's obviously a good way as well to make sure that, like, I don't want to say that your strategies don't leak out, because people know what Serral's good at and they kind of know what he likes to do. But obviously playing custom games is always better than playing ladder, right? Because when you're playing ladder, your build is still out there somewhere. Oh no, come on. Wardi.
Clem.
Wardi.
This was not it. This falls so far apart as well, right? Because he's engineer bay blocking the third. And of course, if you're doing that, the Reaper's meant to buy so much time for that engineering bay, and now it just gets killed instantly. So even that's a waste of minerals.
Second Reaper is gonna try to save the day here, but...
I mean, isn't that even worse again? Because he built a second Reaper for them to team up, and now it's on its own. Oh, it's so sad.
That is insane as well, right? Because Clem can play 100 games against any Zerg out there, and he's never gonna lose his first Reaper like this.
Yeah.
And now he did. Serral's going for that 2-base opening again, no?
Yeah. I wonder if this is because he was engineering bay blocked and he already decided certain gas timings and stuff.
I mean, he mentioned a little bit, I think during the Stay-at-Home Story Cup interview that we had, that a couple of his builds were inspired by Zhuge when it comes to the economies as well, because he did some really weird stuff against Protoss. It's like, I've been experimenting with it. Not sure if it's good. He wins the tournament, you know. Like,
He actually, when it was at Katowice, he went for the 2-base lair opener against TY on this map, and he went for meters, and he killed a BC opener, and it was like a super hard counter.
Yeah, I remember everybody was stoked for that series. Didn't really deliver. I mean, the first game was decent, I guess, but
yeah,
second game not so much. Serral, by the way, okay, I guess just because he's gonna have such a quick lair, he's just gonna morph the Overlord into an Overseer, and that's going to be his scout for this game. But I would say after what happened in the previous game, you really want to be damn sure about what you're playing against.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. You don't want to let you don't want to go blind, right? As an Overseer flies in, so now you know there's a lair for sure. And the Stimpak's gonna come up. Just very standard bio here from Clem. Even put the starport on a tech lab, but didn't do anything with it. Just Viking into Liberator. I'd call this the Clem Classic. It's definitely his favorite build, I think, in TVZ.
And that's what we want to see, right? We want to see Clem do what he does best. Because he has been looking so freaking good in this matchup. Now we'll see how it plays out. Serral obviously slightly unorthodox opening, but he's been doing it so many times that we can't even really call this weird anymore. It's like, no, it's just quick mutas, and I think like the complicated thing here for a Zerg is like, when do you add those extra drones, right? Like, do you just get like the 7-8 initial mutas with +1? But then you need to get bailing speed, you need to get a couple of safety units as well. So it seems a bit complicated, and it seems rather easy to get stuck on a low drone count and work with a mediocre economy. But obviously that's not going to happen to Serral, but that feels like the trap that I would fall in if I would play like this.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it, right? Like, it's tough. It's a bit weird as, oh my god, are these Hellions going down? I feel like they've been surrounded 4 or 5 times now, and they're still fighting. They're still fighting back.
That was the weirdest thing ever. That was like forced love that was just being rejected because there was a magnet around these Hellions. Yeah. They were legit surrounded 4 times, and like 2 of them even survived, but like no HP at all.
I actually can't believe you just killed 18 Zerglings. What?
While being surrounded multiple times.
Yeah, this is like the reverse the reverse play. I don't know. It's not how this is meant to go as a couple of SCVs go down here, so Mita's making themselves known. There's still a Liberator bottom side of the map as well, which is just waiting for the right opportunity as well. Now these Hellions in some trouble. So we'll waste no time targeting down one of those. Jumps in the main base. He does lose a Mita, make that 2. Wouldn't mind getting the connection there. And well,
good damage though.
Yeah, 6 SCVs is really nice.
You don't lose another Mita, but that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, should just be okay from here.
This Liberator is really taking its time.
Yeah, I know. It's one of these Liberators which I'm just like, usually I'm like, I forget it's there and it flies in. And this time, like, really making sure it's not going to go in without me. And I'm like, dude, you've got to be kidding me. Like, how long are you going to sit there for?
Especially as well, because obviously the longer the game goes, the less of an impact killing a couple of workers has. I mean, if Serral's on like 52 drones and then you kill 3 or 4 with your lip, that's big. Serral's going to be at like 70 plus workers already. I mean, that Liberator res, even if it's a great Liberator that kills 5 drones, this is not going to be that impactful anymore because Serral's already rich at that point. What?
Yeah, now it's been F2'd home, right?
Oh no, does Clem have to? I guess he does.
Maybe. I mean, everything's coming from every direction now, apart from the Hellion still on the 3rd, I guess.
Hey, kill the Mita!
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Liberator was destined for greatness all along. I mean, suddenly this becomes a little bit of a scary push. Oh, this is some good damage on those medevacts. That's very nice. And the Viking gets picked off as well. And at this point, maybe the reinforcements are going to be on fire. Those Banelings are not ready yet. Oh, this is funny.
Yeah, the Widow Mine's going to go right on top, but the Banes do finish in time. But then they kind of get shut down, and now more Banes being denied. Hey, this is kind of the timing against the Mutas, right? Where there's no 1-1 for the Zerg just yet. And without any Banes, surely there's some trouble.
I mean, on the other side of the map, the only Banelings that Serral still had actually rolled into the mineral line, so 10 SCVs went down. But hey, killing the 4th base that easy, that convincingly, that's gotta feel really good if you're Clem.
Yeah, absolutely. Serral is down a base he'd really like to have right now. He doesn't get this Widow Mine! Oh my god.
Oh, I was actually following the Mutas. How many Banes was it?
Like half of them. It was like 10.
Okay. Well,
yeah, because it went down to 1 HP. And it recharged, so he didn't have detection. And obviously everything just clumped on top of where they were attacking. So this was really bad. Well, suddenly Clem's up in supply against Serral, which is pretty awesome if you were hoping for game number 5 here.
We've got that Liberator now as well. And a siege up in the natural, well, at the 3rd actually, but it's not going to get much done. I almost feel like after such a momentum swing, I'd like to see Clem keep going. Where are Clem's upgrades, by the way? Why
is he not on 2-2?
They like really late?
Yeah, because he was ahead in 1-1 by like a minute or so.
Well, he never started them. Oh,
that's a real shame. Oh my no, Clem. Oh, he's gonna run into Widow Mines.
The trap.
Wow. The Widow Mines actually saved Clem's 3 medevacs, because that would have obviously been terrible. And it actually turns into something good because Serral loses a lot of lings against the Widow Mines as well. Wow.
Yep, and lost some Banelings in the bottom side. I don't know if you know what those died to. Maybe a Widow Mine shot from far away. That's a lot of Marines for Clem. Imagine if he had 2-2 here. Then I think Serral's just down and out. Maybe now there is some potential, but this is going to be hard. Okay, those Bane connections are actually pretty good to start off with.
First Banes are good. Now, a few of them retreating away. The Mutalists are intercepting reinforcements one by one. Widow Mines are going down, so Clem's getting nothing new over here, but he's going to get the 4th base again. Meanwhile, the Marines still unable to cross the map, so Clem's still just pushing forward with what he has.
He's so deep on creep though, and it's so many Banelings. Really good focus fight actually, or he just ran and he had enough DPS. He's gonna get a cancel on a couple of other additional Banelings.
It's really nice.
Oh, can he get Evos? Can he get Evos? That would be so big.
That's actually huge. He's gonna go for the Phalans. He target fires all 3 of them that were here. And now, go on, finish at least the Evo chamber that's damaged, right? He's in a little bit of trouble as these Banes come running at him. The Marines are trying to get away. Widow Mine kind of gets off. There's 2 Banes left. Target fires them down. Low health Marines will turn on the Mutas and get what they can. Clem's supplies dropping, but the damage done is really insane.
Yep, and denying +2 melee is so sick. And that's obviously big. Serral keeps morphing his Banes a little too close to Clem. I mean, this time he's not going to get punished for it, as that Widow Mine almost connected. Oh man, both of them are playing well. I'm actually on the edge of my seat here, Wardi. Like, this is sick.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Clem's having a good time, but then
Yeah.
Serral just about holds on, and you don't want to doubt Serral. We've done that tonight in the last game, and we shouldn't have done. Oh, no, in the last game, the game before.
And then Clem scans on the left side, and he's like, okay, you've already got that base up and running again. There is a Widow Mine that's gonna just wiggle into the bottom side. That's actually kind of cool. Random mine. Yep, super random mine.
We'll get a couple drones.
Very underwhelming, because like 7 drones pass by. As Zerglings are counterattacking, but Serral just brought them back. I don't really know what happened there. I felt like he could have fought. So Serral's gonna end up losing another base, but obviously he's already re-established 6 o'clock. And now he's gonna try to take the one with the rich gas again as well.
Yeah. 2-2 for Clem against the 1-2, the +2 melee on the way, but Clem not finding a chance to start 3-3 upgrades. Can you blame him? It's obviously been a pretty hectic game. He's going to find units coming out of the main. Couple of Widow Mines here. He can target one. He will not get the second, though, so the splash damage is good. And the Thor was there as well to obviously add some extra damage into this. The Muta's can escape through the top side. Keeping Clem back on 3 bases as well, by the way. I mean, for all the times he's been denied his 4th, Clem has not found a chance to move out to his own 4th base yet.
Yeah, I think that Commencement even just finished up. I feel like I not really been there for that long, completed that is. I think the nice thing here for Clem is that we have a situation with our random Widow Mines everywhere that Serral just hasn't really cleaned up yet. And I think that makes it really annoying to play the cell that Serral wants to play. Look at that, Serral's bringing in Banelings to flank those Marines over here. That's kind of cool. Do you think it's gonna work?
Yeah, perhaps.
It's like, you think you're flanking my Mutas? I'm flanking your Marines!
It's like, I'll fight out of here. It's actually pretty sick, right? Because he needed something to get the Mutas out, get some medevacs as he goes, a good amount of Marines. It actually works out. You know what? We're just getting into like a maxed out game where I feel like if this maxes out, right, for Serral, it's bad. Yeah. I was gonna say it's nice again because I feel like he's been on the worst end of everything.
Yes,
so
in that
far.
regard, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Considering what he was in, it's nice.
Yeah.
But he has got no infestation pit and no hive. So
yeah, in that sense, obviously, as apparently the Mutas took a beating to a Widow Mine or two.
because like the best army that Serral's gonna get is what he's currently working with. And that doesn't do well against 3-3 bio. I mean, this brings me back to the Pole days, where Pole would always be like behind, and then 3-3 kicks in, and then he would beat Mutaling Bane of 2-2. Lara.
Yeah.
You are right, Serral did survive a very scary moment as he gets a very good Baneling flank here, by the way. Jeez.
Yeah, takes down a bunch of Widow Mines as he goes as well. The thing is, Clem's army is also massive because he's only on 60 SCVs, so it's just so much army supply for Clem that for Serral to fight into. It's extremely scary. A lot more Zerglings on the way up.
We had a tiny counterattack, but this is just the difference. Right now, if there's just a couple of Marines, and they're even in upgrades, and soon Clem is even going to be ahead, these Lings don't have adrenal glands and stuff like that, so these fights are just a lot more doable. The Baneling connections are still what is obviously very scary here for Clem. He needs to make sure that he doesn't lose too many Marines, but I'm really starting to think that he's doing it this game, Wardi.
Yeah, as the Banelings continue to roll in once again, chasing these Marines away up this right-hand side, and Marines have to go running, Marines have to go splitting. Midless coming back over, Thor goes down, and we're just going to be seeing Clem keeping the push going on this bottom side. Muta's taking damage, and they are units you cannot afford to lose. As Serral just says, yeah, I need to go for this. He loses all of the Banelings as the target fire is good. The medevacs will heal as the Mutalists are all gone. Oh, man.
Yeah, but it's still just Lartek. I mean, those little run-bys that normally are so devastating, they're just not doing enough because these Lings are not as powerful as we're used to. Serral has just been under too much pressure and has obviously never had the economic spot to fire up Hive, and he's just going to tap out. GG, Wardi. We're getting a game 5 over here.
Yes, we are. I was not really... After the first 2 games, I was like, yeah, this is kind of done. Game 3, Clem wins with like some Hellbats. I'm like, well... Serral's going to scout next time. Well, this time Clem just played really, really well. Did a really good job. Did the right things against the Mutalist opener. Now we're getting to a 5th map. In Clem versus Serral.
I think the absolute key point though was the first time that Clem was able to kill that 4th base of Serral, right? The rich Vespian gas. Because Serral had like 8 to 10 Banes and he used them to counterattack. And then the other Banes, he was morphing, and Clem was like, wait, what? They're not even ready yet? So Clem just kind of dove on it, cancelled the majority of them. The other Banelings didn't really connect. And the Banelings on the top side of the map, sure, they killed like 10 SCVs. That's nice. But a Zerg player losing their 4th base, I mean, that's just kind of disaster. You never want to be like that.
No.
Especially not that one, because of the rich gas, right? Rich gas is so nice.
For sure. I see Zen here. So what didn't we see? Simulacrum and Purity.
That is correct.
That doesn't surprise me too much. Clem really doesn't like playing Simulacrum. Zergs don't seem to like Purity.
Yeah. I guess I can't blame Clem. It's very wide open, right? It's like hard to get like proper fights.
You get flanked from like every position. I think there's like one location where you can actually like set up a good tank position. And even then, like, if it's not tanks, it's actually kind of bad for Widow Mines because the Zerg just comes around the top anyways, so...
There's also not a lot of, like, high ground, low ground in Simulacrum because the middle is all flat. And I think Terran players in general like being on top of a ramp and then shooting down Marines and Zerglings. Anyway, we've got Game 5. Zen it is going to be. I'm excited. I mean, it feels that this has been not a one-sided series, but it felt like Serral has been winning. But right now, nobody's winning. I mean, this is it, Game 5. Let's see. Maybe we do get our first time back-to-back champ. But for now, for the last time, at least as part of the official tourney, not the show match. Obviously, the winner of this series, guys, will go on to play against Reynor. On the left bottom side of Zen, looking at the main base of the Finnish phenom himself, it is Serral.
Taking up on the red Terran in the top right from Liquid, it is Clem.
What do you think?
I just don't want to say anything. I don't know what to expect from Serral, really, because he's obviously been opening the 2-base lair a lot. So, yeah, I mean, if we see that again, obviously it tells us a lot about how it's going to go, but do you really go for that again after you've A, done it so much, and B, it really didn't do enough in that last game?
Yeah, but I think that Serral will look at it that he's like, I didn't lose because of the opening. Maybe I lost because I lost the forward base, right? I think at that point he was always kind of stuck, and obviously, like, you're hoping for a great fight where the Banelings eventually connect 8 more Marines, but I mean, Clem is incredibly good, so if you give Clem enough stuff to work with, he will actually make the best of it. It almost felt, because I was totally with you, when those 3 medevacs were being caught by the Lings and the Mutas were coming in, and we're like, oh, this is so bad for Clem. He picks up, flies towards the Widow Mines, and the bad thing turns into a good thing immediately, because only Serral lost quite a few units going up the ramp. It almost felt like Clem was just all along. He's like, yeah, this is probably going to happen, and I want the action to happen right here, right now. And I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, because those Widow Mines were like set up. It wasn't like they like just got burrowed. They were there ready. There was, yeah, almost like a bit of a bait. So
what is happening here? No, I said SCV hiding in the corner.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he just wants to see a third hatchery timing.
Yeah.
The Reaper is staying at home as though it was a pool first as well, but it wasn't.
Maybe a little worried. I know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Nothing weird's actually happened in the game, but it's these guys are playing like, you know, Clem's playing as though something very weird's happening. It really is not.
It's like the SCV is hiding. It's like, is there going to be a hatchery or not? It's like, I don't want to block. I just want to see you build it right now. And then I was like, well, yeah, I was kind of thinking about building it. The SCV is like, show me that you mean it. It's like, oh, okay. It was a real hatch after all.
This Reaper gonna grenade the Queen. Obviously gives him a chance to get through if he wanted to, but I don't think if the third hatch is there, I don't think he's really all that worried that something crazy's happening. Not just yet. And if you run the Reaper in, it gets stuck, maybe it dies, and then you just give Serral the chance to maybe be aggressive off roaches.
I mean, it would be quite the story. Clem, in his career, 0-6 against Serral in series, was 1-10 in maps, down 2-0, then wins 3 in a row to win his first series ever, reverse sweep. That'd be quite something. Hey, these Reapers and Hellions, they might actually be able to get a couple of drones here. It felt like there was potential. Doesn't really get much yet, but hey, main base, something should be possible.
Yeah, he's gonna get... Okay, that's his second drone. 1 Hellion still full of HP, so a couple extra shots. Gets 4. Hey, 4 for 2 isn't bad.
Yeah. No, and force out quite a few Zerglings there as well. 7 more drones in the way immediately. Serral does get a scout off in the main base. We'll see that Stim is already being reset.
Yeah, I'm just going to be Viking Liberator into the Stim pack, so very similar to the last game. This time he doesn't fake a tech lab on the starport or anything, so yeah, just going to go Viking Lib. Hopefully the Lib actually maybe does something a bit more useful earlier this time. I mean, in the end it killed a Mutalist last game, right? But it really did just AFK for quite a while.
Maybe little Zergling is running around. Whoa, Carapace.
Yeah, so this is actually interesting. It's almost like he thinks it's a 2-on-1, right? Like, because if you play like a marine-based opener, you generally want to get Carapace early, and then you kind of like, you know, you basically, you're taking a lot of shots, you know, way more than you're dealing. So you just invest in the earlier Carapace, and it helps a lot. And you get your melee like not too far behind. So it's almost like he thinks it's a 2-1-1, or like, at the very least, something's going to happen with Marines early. Like, obviously he scouted and he saw it wasn't a 2-1-1, so...
Yeah. Overlord is gonna get maybe saved, maybe not. Transfuse, yes, saves it.
Yeah.
Those are the little feel good moments. Quite a few Hellions driving around here on creep. Obviously, you don't really want to throw these away. Eventually, they could morph into helmets. They could be useful for a big marine attack as well. A couple of drones go down against the Liberator in the main base.
Yep, Liberator gets a couple of kills there, the Viking. Retreating away around the top, looking for anywhere else he can go. Third CC finishing, and Clem just getting his own 1-1 upgrades on the way. So we're really just getting into a good old standard Lingbane Muta versus Bio game. Maybe Lingbane Muta. It might just be pure Lingbane, of course, and switching into a faster Hive. Or maybe even a Hydralisk stand for Serral to really change it up here going into this fifth game.
At this point, I think Serral shouldn't feel too concerned with everything that has happened. He needs a couple of overlords, but they're already on the way. I mean, a 12-worker lead going up to 4 bases. I do think you want to start bailing speed as soon as possible, but I think as long as you get that, everything should be all right.
Yeah. Bailing speed should be... I mean, you have the faster upgrades as well, so the Lings are a little bit better than usual against the initial Marines, right? So you can make up for not having that bailing speed right away. It's kind of the choice you make, as Liberator is back for 2 more drones and gets away again.
Yeah, it was actually kind of cool because the Viking was coming in from the right side of the main. The Viking started shooting at overlords, and then the Queen is like, oh no, so it runs towards the Viking, and that's right when the Liberator shows up again. So a nice little 1-2 play there by Clem.
Yeah, for sure, as the armory from Clem dropping down in the back of the main base. He's going to be on time for the 2-2. Needs to make sure he starts that up, because of course it was one of the things he slipped on a little bit in the last game.
We don't have bailing speed on the way yet.
Yeah, I feel like that is a mistake.
Just finished, don't get me wrong, but...
Yeah, he prioritized the Carapace upgrade. Thing is, right now there's these Hellions still alive as well. This push from Clem is terrifying for Serral to deal with. The tanks aren't siege yet, but if they do get siege, these Banes are going to go down very quickly. Is there enough Marines left over? He's going to protect the siege tanks for the moment. A couple extra Banes hit Hellions.
This feels really bad for Serral, like incredibly bad, because these Hellions are all still alive. 1-1 upgrades are going to kick in here. I think the Liberator is going to show up in the main base again, even though we have Corruptus. I mean, yeah, the Queen count is there. It's just going to be slow banings. Can Serral... Oh, he loses the Queen with almost all the energy.
Yeah, he gets rid of one of the medevacs, though, so there's less healing here. As pure Zerglings running into this, they at least have 1-1, right? So the upgrades are even, as I think Serral maybe just pushes this back. He gets the medevac, and he will clean it up, but it comes at a heavy cost of a lot of units, and he still hasn't started Bane speed, still hasn't started any lair tech.
I thought he was dead there for a second.
Too.
I was like, oh my god, this is just it. Like, all he has left is Zerglings, and there's so many Hellions left, there's Marines left. Serral cleans it up in the end, but like you said, he still did not start bailing speed, and at this point, I kind of refuse to believe that that's a choice. There is no way you ever want to wait this long with that.
That's absolutely not the decision, as he's going to try and get in a position here. There's 10 Banes on the map. They're still slow. Where are these Banelings? They're actually coming in slowly from the top side. Tank on the low ground. Oh no. This is such a good position for Clem to fight in. Of course, this little corner. Get the, you know, Banes to run in towards tank range.
Evo chamber.
Yeah, targets down one Baneling already. He's actually unsieged the tank to save it. He's going to go to the main instead. Oh my god.
Yeah, Clem loves playing like this kind of stuff. Serral has to realize that those Banelings are slow. Yeah, there we go. Fires up Baneling speed now, but it really felt that that was a lot later than it was ever supposed to be. But the tank is getting some very juicy shots off.
13 kills on this siege tank so far, and a lot of them have been, you know, important Banelings, etc. And a lot of damage left over on Zerglings too. He's going to save it again, by the way.
Really, and now, of course, we do have some action on the top side of the map as well. It's just a single medevac for now. Serral starts up the hive, but it feels like the next 3 minutes in this game should be absolute hell for Serral, right?
Yeah, for sure. He's got any sort of lair tech, so it's pure Ling Bane. Right now, without that Baneling speed as well, the one saving grace is maybe the speed of the Carapace upgrade, because now it means that he's got +2 against 1-1 for a little while at least. So it's something this hero siege tank goes down finally. as the Marines up on the top side. Even if they just get some creep tumors, I think it's something that Clem will be happy for. And as obviously he'll be pushing with 2-2 very soon, and that should be a big timing for him.
I mean, this is what we wanted to see, because this is where normally Serral is so good. In splitting up units, in like being under pressure and still surviving. I really don't like Serral's position at this point. If this wasn't Serral, I'd be like, yeah, I think the Zerg is, I don't want to say it's over, but it's definitely not looking good. Let's see if Serral is able to hold his own. I can see those Marines in the corner as he's focused on the fight on the top side of the map. Wardi, I think he's, well, no, he still has Lings and Banes. Okay, so far so good for Serral.
Yeah, Clem pulls off creep, and he's just gonna kind of leave a few units in the front to fight. Nice split backwards. As we still see these drops, by the way, just looking for an opening, and Serral just has like a squad of units that are literally designated to just stop this attack. This drop from doing too much as Serral starts Adrenal Glands, gets a couple of Vipers on the way.
That will make his life a little bit easier, right? I mean, so far I think Serral's doing good. I don't know if he knows about the movement of this army on the right side. Well, he's definitely going to see it now as the scan goes down. Adrenal Glands on the way, Vipers on the way. So Serral's army will finally get better in the near future, but it's going to take a little while. I don't know about taking that hatchery, Serral. You need to clean up the army first, but this seems like a really good fight. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Baneling's going all over the place. Hatchery on the bottom side goes down. Creep tumors being picked away as these Banes get chased. On the top left side, these Marines and Marauder picking off a lot of the Lings as well. So Clem's doing well up here. He's actually trading well with those
base?
2-2. Yeah.
Could Clem go for the main here? I was a bit surprised that Serral grabbed almost all of his units. No, he's just going to go for that similar position. But hey, we've got the Vipers, so energy is going to get leached, and Abduct should be available in the near future.
Yeah, Abduct, or you can even just Blinding Cloud to help push into the tank spots, right? So either way, they're great at dealing with this. As, oh my god, those siege tanks are getting so much damage done. Tanks continue to fire. Here we go. Big Blinding Cloud on top of the tanks here. Bio units. Gonna load back up into these medevacs. Going to end up towards the main base. Bane's still rolling through. Siege tank taking a lot of damage. Is finally gonna go down.
Yeah, these are really ugly trades at this point for Serral. Serral's going to be forced to abandon this base on the left top side as well. He's going to end up losing a queen. I mean, this is where Clem can shine, man. Zen is just perfect for this. This is where you want to have some meta, so you can finally put some real pressure. Serral needs to survive just a little bit longer with a mind.
Yes and no, kind of all over the place. I mean, he's doing it though, right? He's breaking Serral down. And Serral is only on 140 supply. And you know what? Serral's gone Ultra Cavern. Hasn't even been able to stock height in his plane yet. He's been under so much pressure. He's not been able to afford it. And Clem's about to hit 3-3 against 2-2. So it's only getting better for him here against this pure Lingbane army.
And the fights are going to be off creep most of the time as well, because creep is just not in the dangerous positions yet. So Clem is going to be able to have a good time microing. Clem, he's hitting the left top side as well during all of this. Wow, what a magical comeback here by the Frenchman. It looked very dicey after the first two games, but that Hellbat push started something great for him, because at this point, it really feels like he's just running over Serral.
Yeah, this is actually just crazy. He's just turned this around. Like, it looks so... You could have never convinced me if to game 2 that this would happen.
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely
in this fashion either,
like,
right?
It feels like Nightshade is a must-win scenario. It feels like it was almost winnable at one point. It was so close to maybe stabilizing, but that's just not the best of 5 that you then turn around and beat Serral in. But Clem is actually starting to really do this, man, at this point. He is maxed out. He's taking all those bases on the right side of the map. Nothing is stopping him. And it seems like we are actually going to have our first 2-time Xel'Naga Finest champion. And what better way to do it than to beat Serral in the grand final?
Absolutely, as the Lingbane goes rolling on through, the Marines are in trouble. Parasitic Bomb goes off on the medevac to try and help, but now these Banes are rolling off creep. I don't even know where they're rolling to. There's no units the direction they're rolling. There's a drop on the bottom side. Queens are dropping. Clem is just not let up for 14 minutes of this game. I have no idea why he would stop now. He's got money in the bank to rebuild with as well. More bio, more mines. Serral does not have a moment to spare to kind of get anything up for himself, and I mean, he's just got to keep running units into these fights, which obviously aren't great for him, but again, he just has no other choice.
I mean, the movement of the medevacs, the way he dropped and unloaded those tanks over and over again in those nice little corners, and then picking up again, going back into the high ground. It's all been beautiful. It's the kind of stuff you want to do against Lingbane. And obviously, it can be very hard if Zerg is prepared for it, if Queens are in the right position. But I think since that initial fight on the left top side, where Clem just did a lot better than we thought he was going to do. It's kind of been his moment. He picked up a little bit of pace and momentum, and he just didn't let go ever.
No, he really did not. As the Parasitic Bomb going to take down even more medevacs. A couple extra Banes coming around. Bio units all over the place. I mean, Clem is maxed out. There's drones going down because there's a Widow Mine drop top left. And, I mean, that's the last thing Serral needed to see is we have Widow Mine still picking up Ling Bane in the center. Again, this is all 3-3 Bio against 2-2 Zerg. As the Lings and the Banes run on through, there's an attack on the bottom side. Hatchery killed, not even cancelled. Serral can't keep up with the aggression right now. Drones on the bottom side as well as they long distance mine into it. And Clem takes it 3-2. He's gonna, you know what? He's gonna deny the Serral Reynor match because we just couldn't go a whole week without a Clem Reynor game. That's why.
Apparently, that is that powerful, Wardi. Well, I'm totally with you. After the first 2 games, I was like, okay, this is not gonna happen. There's no way. And then like the Hellbat game, okay. And then the Eternal Empire game is like, well, Serral got a bit carried away with counterattacking, and he lost his 4th base. But I mean, this game, it just felt that push on the left top side, it really got everything done that you wanted to do. And up to that point, you know, just some good value out of the Liberator, good value out of the Hellions. A very, very, very impressive performance by Clem, who microed out of his mind and played awesome.
So now we get Clem Reynor, man.
No, buddy.
Like, we just had a sick best of 5. You guys get an extra best of 3. Wow. You want to take a couple minutes, Roddy, just to rest up after that? Yeah, I think so too.
It's almost midnight. I mean, I'm sure that they're gonna need a minute or 2 to veto, and I'm sure that Clem, after just playing 5 games like that, is gonna need a minute as well. So I think that's the best for us.
Awesome. We're gonna take a quick break, guys. When we come back, I believe we do have the winner of the raffle to be announced, and also we are gonna be having that Reynor versus Clem match for the 2nd time here in the Xel'Naga Finest. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.